How did California's largest mansion end up buried below a neighborhood? Hi everyone, Ken here. Welcome to this house. In 1826, James Flood was born to poor Irish immigrants on New York's Staten Island. Growing up, he dreamed of becoming rich, but knew that people like him could only dream. After graduating the 8th grade, he left school to apprentice for a carriage maker, a job where he could make an honest living and, if he were lucky, he could one day move up in the company and make enough to provide for a family of his own. After nearly 10 years of making carriages, the reality started to sink in. He would never make enough money to live comfortably. Around this time, stories of men striking it rich in the gold rush began to circulate. With nothing to lose, James, now 23 years old, took what little money he had been able to save and headed out west. Though he did not strike it rich, he was able to find a handful of silver and gold nuggets to bring home with him. Now that James had a little bit of money, he decided to propose to his longtime sweetheart back in New York. Mary Leary said yes, and in no time at all, the couple said I do. Feeling luckier than ever, James and Mary moved to San Francisco and continued searching for gold. By 1857, they had given up on the idea of finding enough gold to retire on, so James invested most of his savings in opening a saloon with his new business partner and friend, William S. O'Brien. The business grew rapidly, and by the next year, they had sold the saloon and used the profits to open a stock brokerage. This endeavor went pretty smoothly for James and William, and by the next year, they were ready to expand. They joined forces with a mining engineer and a mine superintendent and shifted their interests from California to Nevada, where silver had just been discovered. The team pooled their money together to purchase claims and issued stocks, giving them enough buying power for what would come next. By 1873, the business partners were able to purchase a majority stake of the Consolidated Virginia Mining Company, and later in that same year, their investment paid off more than they could ever have imagined with the uncovering of the Comstock lode. Not only did they find silver in the mines, it would become the largest lode in history. The Big Bonanza, as it was called, consisted of a silver core stretching 1,200 feet deep into the earth. When James announced the discovery, the mines were valued at $1 billion, the modern-day equivalent of over $25 billion. What followed was a frenzy in the stock market, and James saw an opportunity to manipulate the price of stocks as he learned new information about his mines. When it was all said and done, the mine produced about 1/10 of its estimated value before becoming unprofitable. But with his insider knowledge, James was able to cash in long before the mines became unprofitable. Starting in 1875, he diversified his fortune by buying up real estate and founding the Nevada Bank with William. This series of events culminated in cementing James Flood's place in the top 100 wealthiest Americans of all time. With his wealth, he set out to build his dream home. He purchased a large lot in Menlo Park, modern-day San Francisco, and constructed his 45,000 square foot mansion, which he named Linden Towers. The colossal, 6-story Italianate palace was clad in limestone and embellished with intricate relief work and statuary. As we arrive from the street, the gatekeeper steps out from the gatehouse to greet us. The short side of the mansion comes into full view as we round the fountain, but we still have a long way to go before arriving at the front door. We must make our way down the winding gravel drive, meandering through lush gardens. This takes us past a herd of cows grazing in the pastures just outside of the barn. Then, reaching off into the distance, we wonder where the garden walks might take us. Looking beyond the stone sphinx, terraced gardens break away from expansive lawns until finally, Linden Towers can be seen coming into full view. Let's dismount from our carriage and make our way towards the front door. But before we go inside, let's zoom out to see the grandeur of the palatial mansion we are about to enter. Swinging open the nearly 12-foot tall front doors, we arrive in the entrance hall, hearing the echoes of our footsteps dance across the marble mosaic floor. As we look straight ahead, the main hall stretches more than 100 feet below gilded ceilings shimmering in the light of gold-plated chandeliers. To the right, the smell of old leather-bound books tempts us into the library with hand-tooled leather walls and a ceiling that has been gold-leafed between its polished ebony beams. The library feeds into the music room, where a grand piano is so well polished that it reflects the sun's light back into our faces. Directly across the main hall from the music room is the drawing room. Here we could find antique European chairs set out, one for each expected guest, and above us, on the ceiling, a dramatic, ecclesiastical mural is framed by intricate hand stenciling. Let's make our way back into the main hall, heading all the way to the end and turning left just before the door to the service wing. This brings us to the dining room, dramatically decorated with angels flying about overhead in the ceiling mural and gilded dragons resting behind the table supporting the fireplace's mantel. Though, for a more casual dinner, the Floods could eat in their breakfast room in the service wing. Unfortunately, there are no known photos of the stair hall, Moorish smoking room, service wing, or the children's dining room, but we can continue exploring the mansion from below the dome of the second floor stair hall. James' bedroom was decorated with an eclectic mix of styles, ranging from centuries-old furniture pieces to a unique mix of Eastlake and Baroque detailing. Mary's bedroom was more cohesive, with a matching bedroom set and a lively frieze running below murals framed by hand-stenciled borders. Her suite came complete with a large fireplace centered between windows and only the finest, hand-sewn quilts and curtains money could buy. While no two bedrooms were identical, each one bore a strong resemblance to the last, with a writing desk in the middle of each room and canopies over each bed. Once completed, Linden Towers became the largest house west of the Rocky Mountains, but even so, the Floods spent very little time in it, only using the mansion to host large parties. They chose to instead live in their Nob Hill mansion in San Francisco. When James passed away in 1889, he left both of the mansions to his daughter Jenny. She had no use for Linden Towers and decided to donate it to the University of California, who later sold the mansion to James Flood Jr. After his passing, Jr.'s widow placed the estate up for auction. Developers then purchased the estate and began selling the furniture and architectural salvage. This behemoth of a mansion would have been too costly to tear down and haul away, so the house was imploded and its remains were packed into the foundation and low points around the property before new houses and apartments were built over them. Somewhere below the Lindenwood housing development are the fragments of some of the finest artisan work California has ever seen, resting on marble floors covered over with 10 feet of dirt. What did you think about this house? Did you have a favorite room? Let me know down below in the comments section, and while you're there, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.